Okay, so the recording has been started. So the string manipulations, right? So now you are capable to answer what is a string, and you have become something. You got to know something about the string and the string buffer, right? So just try to remember this word. For string, it is immutable, and for string buffer, it is mutable in nature. So we have discussed what is immutable, and we have also discussed what is mutable. We have seen so many examples between a string and the string buffer, and we have also seen about the internal working of string classes, right? So internal working of string classes has also be discussed, and apart from that, today we will understand. Okay, if you want, you can repeat these videos once again for the better clarity, right? Today we will understand what are the advantages of string constant pool. Okay, very important questions for the interview room. Advantages of string constant pool. So we know what is string constant pool, or let me keep it very simple, SCP. SCP is an acronym for what? String constant pool, isn't it? SCP, right? So before understanding the advantages of string constant pool, I want to tell you something about the real-time application. So if you develop any application, guys, if you develop any application, so the application can be enterprise application or a business application, and or a standalone application, whatever the application that you want to develop. In any application, the 90% of objects are going to be of what type? String type only. 90% of object will be of what? String type. Most of the time, the 90% of object that gets created will be of what? String type, right? For example, if I want to develop the voter ID application, so everyone, we have an experience of voting, right? In order to get the voter ID, we need to do what? We need to fill in the application, or you need to fill in your details to get the voter ID, right? So in any voter ID application, I want to develop an voter ID application. If I want to develop an voter ID application, there are many options. I mean, the details that you want to fill. Okay, the confidential information that you want to fill. Okay, it includes your name, okay, the name information, right? It includes your father name, and it includes your mother name. It also includes your what? So many things that you need to fill. Okay, your address, your house number, things, and your location, Chennai, and followed by the pin code, right? And sometimes they will ask you to fill in the identification marks, things like that. Okay, these are the basic things that is required to generate the voter ID. This is completely depend upon the your what you call it as your location, your locality plus your identity. Yes or no? Right? And if you see most of the objects, okay, name is in the form of string, okay, and you have father name is also in form of string, right? And sometimes mother name is also in the form of string, right? And your address, house number, okay, house number, there is a kind of what we call it as exception, like house number can be a number. Okay, this is a number, and again the city, state, and followed by what? Pin code. Okay, and there you go. They also ask you for the Aadhaar card number, right? And at last identification marks, right? And if you see the information that you are going to give, most of the information is of what type? String type, except for this pin code and for the house number, right? And if this application, this voter ID application, when you place this application in a server, application in a server, every citizen is going to register for the voter ID. Okay, just an assumption. Okay, voter IDs are randomly generated according to the age. Once you turn 18, you are eligible to apply for the voter ID, right? I'm just asking if if every person is trying to apply for the voter ID, they will be filling all the information, right? Especially when you talk about city, especially when you talk about this particular city. Okay, every other information may be different, guys. Okay, name can be different, name can be Shashwan, name can be Jyoti, Ratna. Okay, there can be a lot of variations in the name, father name, and mother name, house number, city, I mean house number, pin code, and identification. But when it comes to city, this city object can be identical, it cannot be, most of the time it cannot be unique at all. You know what I mean? Okay, if voter one is doing the registration, okay, especially if the voter one is considering the city, voter one, right? If he is from Chennai, do you think only one voter address location is going to be from Chennai? Chennai population is more than 1 point something 1.2 crores if you consider the metropolitan, right? And there could be a lot of voters, right? So there could be 1 crore voters in the Chennai location itself if you consider the metropolitan. Not the city limit, the metropolitan limit. Metropolitan limit is Tambaram, everything will come, Baravadi, you know. Chennai is a very big city if you consider metropolitan, right? So there could be 1 crore voters, right? If you keep creating object for the 1 crore voters, is a memory wastage, yes or no? Especially, you know, when there is a distinct object, when there is an unique object. Say Chennai city is going to be an unique object. It is going to be the same object for all the 1 crore voters who are living in the Chennai city, yes or no? Even for the voter one, the city, you talk about the city, voter one could be from, you know, Chennai city, and voter two, he could be from, I mean, Chennai city, because there are 1 crore voters in the Chennai city. So you cannot keep creating new object for all the 1 crore voters, yes or no? Can I do that? Okay, you can do that, but it is going to there could be a lot of memory wastages. Okay, what Java people, they came up with an idea, brilliant idea. Okay, like this 1 crore, okay, not 3. Let us say that this is the 1 crore voter 1 crore. Okay, if you keep creating 1 crore objects, right, there will be a lot of memory wastages. Yes or no? Do you agree with me? The memory is going to be wasted, right? So what Java people, they said, they thought, why can't they create only one object? Okay, why if the second object is going to have the same content, why it cannot be reused over and over again, so that, you know, the memory can be saved? So for all the 1 crore objects, the same, if for all the 1 crore voters, the same object for the location will be used, so that there will be a lot of memory utilization and memory could be saved, right? So they thought they can create an area in the memory, okay, and they have named that area as string constant pool, SCP, so that this object could be shared among all the voters, because Chennai location is going to be same for all the residents of Chennai who is living there, so that when they are applying for the voter ID, the object could be created only once, and each and every voter can be, I mean, they can use this existing object, right? But if you find this as an advantage, there is also a disadvantage. Okay, what is a disadvantage here? For example, let us say that the Ratna is the second voter. Okay, today Ratna is living in Chennai, right? And Ratna is getting access to the voter ID application, and he wants to change the location to Chennai, from Chennai to Bangalore. If that is the case, for the remaining voters also, the location will be changed, yes or no? When voter 2 is trying to change the modification, right, this modification will be applied for all the remaining voters as well, right? Today if you see, okay, if voter 1 is seeing his location today, if this is allowed, today the voter 1 will be seeing his location as, and after 5 minutes you will be seeing his location as Bangalore, after 20 minutes you will be seeing the location as Hyderabad, after some time you will be seeing the location as Delhi. It keeps there is a kind of what behavior, abnormal behavior, right? There is going to be an abnormal behavior. There will not be any data consistency because of one voter, because of the changes that is made by one voter. The changes will have impact on the remaining voters as well, impact on the remaining information of the, I mean, remaining impact on the remaining voters information. So this is called as abnormal behavior. So to avoid this, what they have done, they have introduced the string constant pool. At the same time, they started introducing what, the immutability concept. Okay, for all the changes, okay, for all the changes, okay, let us revert these changes back, delete. Okay, and for what was the actual location? Chennai is the actual location. If one person is not, if one person is trying to relocate, if one order is trying to relocate, okay, he can change his location. If you want to relocate to Bangalore, the changes will not happen in the existing object. A new object will be created. In that new object, the changes will happen, Bangalore, right? And the reference variable of voter 2 wants to change the location, isn't it? Voter 2 now will be referred, will be referring to this location, right? This existing object will not be touched. So this nature is called as was immutability. What a beautiful concept. They are saying, okay, you can reuse the existing object if you want. If you don't like, okay, don't touch the existing object, create the new object and have the variable assigned to the new object. That nature is called as immutability. So for the SCP, you are seeing two things here. One is reusability, second one is what? Immutability. Are you getting this? Why? What? This is the bigger advantage, don't you think so? This is the bigger advantage of SCP. Okay, if you just look, if you just look close into it, if you just look close into it, or if you just look deep into it, you are seeing what? You are seeing many advantages here. One advantage is just remember this word. Okay, when you use SCP, there is what? Memory efficiency. Memory efficiency is there. Okay, and the second one is performance will be improved. Improved performance. Okay, and the third one is what? Reduced garbage collection. We will see each and everything. So reduced garbage collection. Right now, this is the advantages of what advantages of what? String constant pool. These three advantages that you need to remember in mind. Memory efficiency is there, improved performance will be improved, and reduced garbage collection. Okay, the JVM will never come and touch the string constant pool area for the garbage collection. Right, when there are two areas, we have already discussed about the two areas. There is a heap area and there is a CP area. Okay, this garbage collection will always happen in the heap area only. When there is any unreferenced variable, that variable will be eligible for garbage collection. Okay, even though there are unreferenced variables in the SCP area, this will not be touched. JVM will act upon only on the heap area for the garbage collection. Okay, that so you're not giving any additional burden to the JVM for the SCP area to do the garbage collection. So that is why reduced garbage collection is there in the SCP area. Improved performance. Why performance is improved? Okay, it is very easy to manage one object, isn't it? Instead of maintaining multiple objects. If you think that one a string can be utilized for many number of reference variables, right? You can maintain that one, right? So memory will be improved, right? And if memory is improved, performance will also be improved. This thread cannot, it will not keep looking for the objects. Identifying the object, respective object is going to be very easy. So this is the typical advantages of what? String constant pool. Okay, let us understand this much better in an example. Okay, I want to take some string literals, guys. Okay, focus here. String Ratna. Okay, let us say that Ratna is from Chennai. Okay, just like a voter, I am trying to convert this voter ID application to the Java programming language in a simple way. With the memory context. Okay, second one is Shashwant. Let us say Shashwant is also from Chennai. Okay, third one is Jyoti. Let us say that Jyoti is also from Chennai. Right. Fourth one is Srikanth. He is also from Chennai. Okay. So because of these 4 lines of code, just focus here. Because of these 4 lines of code, I have been telling you for the last 2 classes. Whenever you are assigning a string literal directly to a reference variable, so these are the literals. You are directly assigning the string values to a reference variable. So no, right? So when you are dealing with the string objects, and when you are dealing with strings, there are 2 areas that you need to consider. One is the heap area, and second one is the SCP area. Right? For all the string literals, don't ever think about heap area. Memory will always get allocated to the SCP area for all the string literals. You have one string literal, you have second string literal, right? You have third string literal. Blindly, memory will directly get allocated in the SCP area. It has nothing to do with the heap area because we are talking about string literals. String literals. Okay, now you see the first object is what? Chennai, right? Very good. And the value is Chennai. Okay, and Ratna resides in Chennai. So reference variable is Ratna. For the understanding purpose, I am taking like this. The second one is Shashwant. Okay, and value is again Chennai. So first JVM will see in the SCP area, is there any value already there with the object Chennai? Already Chennai is there. So it will not create another object and it will not include the value Chennai. Okay, it will reuse the existing object. That is the purpose of SCP. Okay, and Shashwant will be the reference variable. Shashwant will be assigned to the value. I mean, will be referred to this Chennai object. Okay, and followed by Jyoti. Jyoti is also from Chennai. So okay, fourth one is what? Fourth one is Srikanth. He is also from Chennai. As per the logic, right? So all are from Chennai. So no issues. Okay, now Ratna wants to do something. Okay, Ratna wants to relocate to a different location. Okay, Ratna says, let me go to Hyderabad. Okay, Ratna wants to move to Hyderabad. Okay, what does it really mean? Okay, you are assigning the literal Hyderabad to the value, I mean to the reference variable Ratna. It means that, okay, it means that changes will not happen here, guys. Changes will not happen. Chennai will not be replaced with Hyderabad. Okay, string will do what? String will do it will create a new object because of immutability, and this object will have the value Hyderabad, right? Just this Ratna, okay, this reference variable from year to year it will be moved. That's it. Okay, there will be no impact on the remaining objects. Remaining objects are going to be same forever. It will not get affected, right? Tomorrow, and let us say that Shashwant wants to move to a different location. He want to relocate to Pune. Okay, this Pune will be created in the SCP area. New object will be, every time new object will be created because of immutability. Pune will be created because there is no Pune object, right? Pune will be created. Okay, this Shashwant will be directed here. Right, now again tomorrow Jyoti wants to relocate to Hyderabad. Jyoti wants to do what? She wants to relocate to Hyderabad. Okay, what happens now? Hyderabad is a new literal. Hyderabad is a new string literal, right? And it will check, is there any Hyderabad already there? Yes, there is an Hyderabad already, isn't it? Don't you think so? Hyderabad is already existed, right? No object will be created. Now reusability is coming into the picture. Okay, reusability will come now, and Jyoti will be finding it here. When object is there, that will be reused. When the object is not there, that will be created. So every time object creation will happen. When if it is not there, if it is there, object will not be created, that will be reused. Okay, here it is following two things here. Reusability is happening, immutability is also happening. Reusability and immutability. Are you getting this? What I am trying to say, everyone? Yes, no? Please type something in the chat box so that I can proceed further. Are you getting what I am trying to say, everyone? Are we good to go? Are we good to proceed? Okay. When anyone is asking you what is the advantage of SCP area, okay, if this is the question, just keep these two words in the mind: immutability as well as reusability, right? And keep please remember the voter ID application. Okay, and if I try to print system.out.println, I want to understand, guys. I want to understand if Jyoti and Ratna, they are pointing to the same references. Now double equal to Jyoti. Okay, this is the reference comparison. Okay, reference comparison is giving true. Why it is giving true? When it will give true? only if both objects are sharing the same, both the reference variables are sharing the same object. They are sharing the same object, it will return true. Okay, according to us, don't you think that Ratna as well as Jyoti, they are the reference variables, they are sharing the same object Hyderabad, which means our, what we call it as our analysis is correct. Right now we will now Srikanth is with Chennai and Shashwant is with Pune. Are you getting this? Okay, this is all about what the advantages of string constant pool. And typically you have three advantages. One is memory efficiency and improved performance and reduced garbage collection. And these are the keywords that should always trigger in our mind whenever you are getting the question like string constant pool. What are the keywords? Immutability and the reusability. Right, now let us discuss about something about what intern method of string class. I will give you the notes later in the, I will place the notes in the description. Okay, intern method of string class. Okay, and most of the even the persons who are experienced, okay, they will find a very difficulty in answering the question on top of intern method. Okay, the answer is theoretically the answer is very simple. The intern method. The intern method is one of the methods in the string class. One of the methods in the string class, which helps to manage the memory so it will help to manage the memory by reusing the existing string object, by reusing the existing identical string object. Identical string objects. Okay, the important usage is, for example, if you want to understand this, okay, let me do this. Okay, let me take one more example. Focus here, intern method is one of the important methods. This understanding is very important. Okay, for example, let me say that I am taking a string literal, string s equal to Java. Okay, so this is a string literal, and I also want to do what? I also want to do string, let it be s2. I want to take s1 equal to new string, and I am taking Java. Okay, now let us try to understand how the internal things are. Okay, let's try to understand how internal things are going to be because of these two lines of code. Okay, so let me go back to the paint screen. So it is very easy. It is going to be very easy because we have already understood how the memory gets allocated for all the string objects, right? And every time when you get a question from string, always take pen and paper and try to do this for some time. Okay, and once you get expertise, then you can imagine these things directly. So there is a heap area, there is an SCP area, right? For the heap area, for example, for first line, okay, first line you are creating an object by using what keyword? By using the new keyword, right? And this is going to be what? Java, right? And this is going to have the reference variable as s1, right? And for the literal, for this literal, okay, you are passing Java inside a parenthesis, inside a constructor. And again for this literal, an object will be created in the SCP area for the future reference, and it is going to hold the value Java. Okay, focus here, right? The first line is completed successfully. We have we have understood what are the things that is happening behind the scenes because of this first line. Okay, second line is what? Directly we are using the string literal, right? Java is directly getting assigned to the reference variable s2. Okay, whenever you are talking about the literal, always go and look into the SCP. Okay, the control will always jump to which area? SCP area. Only for the string literal, the control will directly jump to which area? SCP area. Blindly think like that. No other doubts on this. Okay, blindly for the string literal, the control will jump to SCP area. It will try to find is there any string object of Java. There is already Java is there, right? Why it has to create once again? Because we are talking about what SCP means reusability. Let us reuse this. It's going to reuse this. Okay, in order to reuse this, it has to give its own reference variable to this. Okay, this reference variable is pointing here. Okay, this is done. So far, this is so far good. Okay, what we are trying to understand it here. When I try to do system.out.println statement, if I perform double equal to operation between S1 and S2, I want to perform double equal to operation between S1 and S2. If I perform double equal to operation between S1 and S2, and if you go back here, if you see, okay, S1 is sharing a different object, S2 is sharing a different object. Both are pointing to different references, right? Different objects. Ideally, I should get the output as false. Ideally, I should get the output as what? False. False is an output. No doubts about it. We know these things already. Why we are discussing this once again? That could be a question. So what I want to do is, I want to apply an intern method here. Focus here. I am forcefully applying a method called .intern method I am using. Focus here, guys. Very important. I have just added a line .intern method and I am not touching any other code. Okay, if I run this code, previously the output was false, now the output is true. False become true. What is happening behind the scenes? I have just used intern method so that what happened to the output. Previously, if I don't use intern method, we know what are the things that is happening behind the scenes. These are the things that is happening behind the scenes. By looking at these things, I can say that S1 and S2 are pointing to different references. So ideally, the output has to be false. Okay? Output has to be false. The moment I start using the intern method in this first line, okay, and again, I will also use intern method in the second line. Okay, if I run this code again, the output is becoming true. Why it is becoming true? That understanding is required for the intern method. Okay, what will happen behind the scenes? The moment you use intern method, focus here, you are just trying to apply the intern method over here, isn't it? Intern method here. Okay, the reference variable, this reference variable will come into the picture. What is the reference variable? S1 is the reference variable, right? You are using intern method on S1 reference variable. Okay, this S1 will jump into SCP. This S1 is going to do what? This S1 will jump into SCP directly and it will try to find is there any word Java. Let me repeat. The moment you use intern method, right, on S1 reference variable, this S1 will jump from E to SCP and it will try to find is there any word Java. Yes, there is a word Java here. Okay, now this reference variable gets assigned here. Okay, there is a changes. Okay, it is trying to do what? It is trying to change its reference. That's it. Okay, after this, what is the second line? Second line, I am using the intern method on top of Java, guys. No difference. If you use intern method also no issues. If you don't use intern method also no issues. Both are same. Compiler will always treat. Okay, even if you're not putting intern method, compiler will silently place an intern method. You don't see that. These are the internal things. If you put the intern method, no issues. If you don't put the intern method, compiler will do that. Behind the scenes, this will happen behind the scenes. So we know, right, for every driver class, I know every class, the object class is a super class. So every class extends object class. If you put or if you don't put, no issue. So if you are putting it, compiler will be happy. If you don't put it, compiler is going to do this stuff. Likewise, even for every string literal, okay, if you don't put, compiler is going to take what? Intern method next to this. There is no changes. So what I am trying to do here, S1 is getting compared with S2 with the help of double equal to operator. Sir, no. S1 is getting compared. Now see, S1 and S2 both are sharing the same object, guys. This time, both are sharing the same object, right? That's why we are getting the output as true. That is why we are getting the output as true. Okay, so are you getting what I'm trying to say? Everyone are trying to understand what I'm trying to convey. The intern method, I'm helping you to understand the purpose of intern method. Are you following me? Yes, no. I'm trying to help you understand the purpose of intern method, right? On this, right, if there is any reference variable that is inside the heap area, if you want to make sure that the reference variable jumping to SCP area, just use instant method. What is the advantage that I'm going to get? Okay, this will be eligible for garbage collection. There is no need to manage two objects separately. Okay, I can manage only one object. I can manage only on one object. For this small example, you don't see much benefits that you are going to get. If you have many identical objects in the heap area and the SCP area, many identical objects. So when I say many identical objects, what does it really mean? For example, if I use string s2 equal to new string java dot, I am calling again, what is it, intern method, right? Likewise, I want to create one more object, string s3 java, right? Firstly, let us understand what will happen without using the intern method. What will happen? What will happen? Yeah, our imagination is not limited now. Let us take the test code. In these 4 lines of code, actually what will happen behind the scenes because of this 4 lines of code? Okay, where is it? Where are we? Okay, here. Okay, these are the 4 lines of code that I want to trace what is exactly happening behind the scenes for these 4 lines of code, right? And there are 2 areas. Obviously, we know there is an heap area, there is an SCP area. Right, let me quickly do that. So you have heap area and you also what is SCP area, right? And S1, okay, for the new keyword object gets created and this is referred as what? S1, right? And for the literal, for the Java literal, right, what happens? An object will be created in the SCP area, isn't it? And this is going to be Java. I mean, here Java will be there, here Java. 2 objects are getting created, right? And for the second line, again one more object will be created in the heap area. And for the third line, one more object will be created in the heap area. The content is Java. Okay, the content is Java. Okay, this is what? This is S2 and this is S3. Yes or no? Right? And no new object will be created. So in the SCP area already Java is there, so that will be utilized. Right? What I am trying to do now, what I want to do, see, if you see there are 4 objects we have with the same content. The content is same. But objects are 4. Don't you think that memory will be waste? There is not much. I mean, the memory is not getting utilized much on the same object. Objects are very much identical. All the objects are identical objects because the values are same. Can't I use the one value because all the objects are identical? I can use the same value and I can give the references for the remaining. If you want to achieve that, what I will do in the code, right? I will just call intern method. Okay, I just call intern method. If I keep calling intern method on these objects, right? What happens? The reference variables in the heap area, the objects that are in the heap area, especially the reference variable, will jump from heap to SCP. Will jump from heap to SCP because of intern method. Will jump from heap to SCP because of intern method, right? And this one object will be utilized for all the references, right? Since it is in the heap area, this will become eligible for garbage collection. So this memory is saved. Only one object is getting used. Again, we are trying to do what? We are trying to achieve what? The reusability because of the intern method. Right? So how effectively I can write the theory? Okay, it is used to ensure that all the string objects, all the strings I can say instead of object, all the strings, because string itself is a value, right? all the strings with same content are represented. All the strings with the same content are represented by a single object in the Java string constant pool area. Right? And you need to keep something in the mind, okay? And for this is the important, very important thing. If you are tracing a literal, for example, string s1 equal to what we call it as Java, right? For us, this is just a literal, string literal, okay? But for compiler, this is a literal, and the compiler is going to do one more thing. What? It will place intern method. If you don't see this, compiler is doing internally. For every intern method, okay, intern method will ensure that is why the object is this SCP area is for the intern method. Okay, that is why for every S1 object internally the objects are creating in the, I mean for all the what we call it as the literals, the object are creating the SCP area. The movement is happening in this. That's why references are getting placed in the SCP area. String constant, because internally it is calling intern method. This is meant for intern method. SCP array is meant for intern method. When you call, okay, it will check is there any object there with the same content. If not, it will create an object. If it is there, it will be reused. Right? And here it won't call. Here you can call this forcefully. If you want, you can do that forcefully. But these things are, you know, in the real-time application, these are very much advantage. I mean, this has very much advantage when you are using the identical content. I mean, huge amount of, when you are dealing with huge amount of identical content, right? When that is the scenario, you can use this kind of situations. Okay, you can, for the core Java level, this would be fine. When you are developing real-time applications, you will get the much wider picture for this. You will understand the wider picture, right? So this is all about what? This is all about the intern method of string class, and the advantages and importance of string constant pool. Okay, repeat after me. String constant pool means, just remember these keywords: reusability and immutability. Okay, intern methods. Okay, intern method means you need to remember this theory, and you need to understand this. Okay, that's all for the day's class. If you have any